Using the language of the weather department, this weather event is set to last for a while, it sounds like.
It is. I mean, it's like a 48-hour period that we're going to be dealing with this. But, you know, we've had worse than this. I want to stress that. We have a bad morning coming tomorrow for much of northern Ohio. It's going to be a rough morning commute, and we'll have some tricky spots as the day goes on. But we have had bigger storms than this here in northeast Ohio. So let's get into the details now. We have widespread snow that'll be with us in the morning, and we're expecting it to become more periodic and lake enhanced and lake effect snow as the afternoon goes on, but it does look like it will be rather widespread. There are a few snowflakes showing up on the radar way to the south so far. We've also had some snow that's been kind of hugging the shoreline areas, the lakeshore areas, as we've had this little boundary that came in earlier. This little batch of snow came in, and that boundary is still sitting there. Even though we're not getting great big gobs of snow out of it at this point, we have dry air in place, and I think that's really helping to hold things down right now. But notice the winds over the lake are out of the north, and we have calm to very light winds out of the south here over much of northern Ohio, and that forms this boundary. I think as we get more moisture moving in overnight, we'll start to see this really becoming more and more active. Not only that, we're going to start to tap into more and more of the Lake Ontario moisture as well as the long axis of Lake Erie, and we'll start to see things lining up a little bit more. You can kind of see the whole wind flow is very weak here in Ohio. We see the wind picking up here out to the west of us, and then also that southerly breeze picking up in the south, but nothing really to speak of as far as a dynamic wind over the Buckeye State. That is significant because that shows me where the low pressure is going. Low pressure is lifting in the atmosphere, so you're not going to get a lot of movement side to side because the air is being lifted. So that is an indication that everything is still pretty much on track. And notice that we're not alone in this. We do have widespread winter weather advisories. A winter weather advisory is kind of a key word for 4 inches. When you hear that, think 4 inches. Winter storm warnings, that's when you start to kick 6+ inches into the conversation. And really, our winter storm warning is only because we are adding extra snow thanks to Lake Erie and some of the other lakes too. So the winter storm warning is basically the lakeshore areas, and then you add in Huron, Medina, and Summit and Geauga counties, and then farther south that winter weather advisory. Again, we're thinking upwards of 4 inches, 2 to 4 inches south and 6+ inches to the north. These winter storm impacts will become more and more relevant in the morning. As the morning commute goes on, it will become more and more difficult. At times we will have snow that the road crews will not be able to keep up with, so that complicates, of course, your visibilities as well as the road conditions. And you can see in the early morning, this is 2 a.m., 4 a.m., now we're starting to see those snow intensities picking up, and that's really setting the stage for that nasty morning commute. And the Lake Erie band plays a big role in how this all goes down. Now, our forecast model is showing that it is snowing, so that's one key here that we're going, let's see what's going to happen, right? We are anticipating more moisture to come in, and that should help to get things rolling a little bit. So midnight over to 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., we will start to see snow spreading across northern Ohio. We'll start to get a little bit more fetch coming across Lake Erie to feed into that lake band, and that band is actually aiming west, not east. It is aiming west, and so we're anticipating heavier snow in Lorain, Erie, and Huron counties early morning. That snow then will start to sink south and pivot through the morning. So western Cuyahoga County comes into play now, as well as much of the lakeshore areas. After 6 a.m., and you can see we get some dry air in here. This is the difference with two pieces of energy trying to figure out what they're doing with each other. Once they come together, we should start to see much more snow growth across northern Ohio. At the same time, the wind is beginning to back around to the north. That's big because that band that's been aimed out west will start to swing from west to east across northern Ohio through the morning into the afternoon. And now you can kind of see that widespread lake effect snow with enhanced bands of snow that's going to drive farther to the south. So you're probably thinking in Akron that, yay, this is nothing. It's all lake effect. It's not, because we're going to have those bands that go north to south that help to paint a little extra snow down your way. By 7 p.m., really we're on the back side of this, and we're just going to see lake effect snow then continuing, and that's where we bring in the old adage, where bands persist. So let's talk accumulations, right? By 7 a.m., if everything goes according to plan as of right now, we will have 1 inch plus on the ground throughout much of northern Ohio. Ohio. We can totally handle an inch, right? But look at all of this snow closer into the lakeshore areas of Lorain, Erie, and Huron counties. That's that band that's going to set up. As that band begins to pivot, the heavier snow starts to show up. And did you see the numbers grow from 7 to 12? That's the snow that's coming down during the commute, complicating the commute, making things a little bit more difficult. By the end of the day, by the end of Friday, we're talking 2 to 5, maybe 6 inches throughout much of northern Ohio. We could have a couple areas that get 7. But the other part of it is, remember, we still have lake effect to go. And where we get that lake effect going, we will be adding more and more snow. And that's where we start to get more impressive numbers, 7, 8 inches. There's the possibility, the outside possibility of maybe 10 inches if we can get those bands to establish, possibly even up to 12. But I'd have to say at this point, it's just a wait and see kind of a thing. Union Home Mortgage forecast has us in the 20s into the weekend, but then we go mostly sunny. We have a beautiful weekend coming on Sunday, or the end of the weekend on Sunday. Then things turn around. Temperatures are going to be warmer. We're in the 40s with rain chances throughout all of next week. Russ?
Summertime by next Thursday. Something like that anyway. All right, Betsy, thanks.